Have you ever realized that you've spent so much of your life performing versions of yourself for safety that being your authentic self actually feels uncomfortable? Lately, I've been feeling this shift happening internally where I don't want to force anything. Not conversations, not relationships, not even forcing my creativity, not even who I truly am. And I think that's because I'm finally safe enough to just be myself. You know, the last few videos I've been talking about being in this weird in between phase, being mid transformation, mid shift, mid jump. And within those transformation or within all these realizations, I am learning that I've had to perform or that I've had to mask myself and put out all these different versions of me in order to keep myself safe, I should say. And that is the root of everything, just to keep myself safe. I had so many different faces, so many different masks, so many different people that I felt that I had to be in order to feel safe in the environment that I was in. I feel like a lot of us are coming out of that survival mode, and that's why we're all in this weird in-between phase where we are no longer that version of us who survived in that survival mode, but we're not fully the new versions of us who is no longer, shrinking ourselves to adapt to the environments that we're in. Recently, I heard this analogy to be the thermostat instead of the thermometer. The thermometer will change because of its environment, but the thermostat will keep a steady temperature. And I feel like that's something that I'm learning in my life, is to be the thermostat instead of the thermometer. Because as somebody who's so easily influenced by the emotions around me because of how sensitive I am, I had to learn to really temper myself and be safe within my own energy in order to be able to discern what isn't mine. And that is something that I really had to learn. I really had to come home to myself and really learn what my emotions are, what I'm feeling, in order to separate myself from the emotions and feelings of people around me, of the ones that are, the people that I surround myself with. And it's not to say that they have terrible negative energy. It's not to say any of that. Everybody is going through their own versions. Everyone's going through their own things in life. And it's not to say that I'm surrounding myself with evil or people, because that is definitely not who I am. I do not surround myself with people who will bring me down. I do not surround myself with people who are always negative. I can't have that, because I'm trying to keep a positive mindset, and being around people who are constantly negative, constantly, just talking down about people, things, places. I can't do that. I can't be around that. Oh, 333, just as I look down. That's the community, the threes. Going back to feeling that safety, being in survival mode will teach you to react. I feel like survival mode will teach you to react to your environment instead of just being in your environment and allowing it to flow. I'm no longer, going to shrink myself to be digestible for people. At least, in my mind, I feel like shrinking myself made me more digestible. And that's what it looked like for me. It was shrinking myself to just fit in and not stand out, because I was already, again, throwing it back to being a big girl. I started my weight loss journey in 2022. And through a lot of life changes that were happening at the time, I was going through my weight loss. I was going through changes in my environment, in my relationship, in all relationships, with my friends and my job, and my environment's changing. And there was a lot happening that I felt like that was truly the start of my real healing journey. And maybe that's something that you went through too. Maybe it wasn't even something as huge as weight loss surgery like I did. Maybe it was just something as small as you no longer wanted to shrink yourself, or you decided that this is not the life that you want to live anymore, and now you want to go towards your aligned path. And once you do make that decision to better your life, whatever it may be, that's when things around you start to change. When you start to change, your environments will start to change, your mindset will shift, and you will start to move toward where you need to go, wherever your purpose is aligning you to. I think a lot of us will become versions of ourselves, to keep us safe. And then one day we wake up wondering why we feel so disconnected with the world, whether it's just people around you and we're just like, it just doesn't fit anymore, And again, I've touched on this in a past video where, you'll find this when 555, you'll find this when your home or when your own self doesn't feel like home anymore. And I feel like I'm like right at the tail end of this not feeling like home anymore, and stepping further into my authenticity and who I truly am, at my core. For me as a person, and maybe you can relate to this too, but being seen for who you truly are feels scary. Being your most authentic self feels so scary, because if this is you, and you're putting yourself out there in the world and you get pushback, you get rejected, then it feels even worse, because, oh my gosh, now I'm being true to myself and it's still not working out, But something that I like to remind myself is that rejection is redirection. I had to learn that so many times over the years, where I'm like, this is what I want, right? This is what I want. This is where I'm going. This is my purpose, 717. And every time I was pulled somewhere else, and I'm like, no, this is not it, right? This is not it. But that's what this journey is. That's what this life is. When you are misaligned, you will be redirected, and you will to where you need to go. Sometimes it's not fun. Most times it's not fun. If you're avoiding going where you need to go, or, if you're avoiding the healing that you need to heal, or if you're avoiding the whatever emotions that are coming up while you're in this state, while you're in this version of you, I truly believe that things happen for a reason. And when they do come up for you, it's coming up for you to heal it, to recognize it, and to, I guess, maybe share it. If you're on a content journey, then, share it, use your voice. That's what I'm learning, this authenticity journey, this using my voice, speaking to the camera, just speaking from a place of honesty of who I am. It is scary, but the more you do it, the more you get used to it, and the easier it gets. So I've spent about 2 years trying to be safe enough within myself to be able to bust out my camera, bust it out. I'm from Hawaii, so, to bust out my camera and start talking to you, to those around you, those people who this video is going to, reach. Whoever my video reaches, if this has found you, this message is for you. I truly believe that my videos will reach who they're meant to reach, whenever they're meant to reach you. And if it's reached you, then maybe you're going through the same thing too. And hopefully this video will help you in some way, shape, or form. But learning, being on this journey, learning to express my most authentic voice, my authentic thoughts, being myself, just being me, just being Brittany. Not even trying to perform, trying to look outside myself for that external validation. Just knowing that I am safe within myself, and that I trust myself to move forward. When I started this journey, I used to think content creation was about performing, putting your best face forward, putting your best content forward. But for me, it's becoming more about expressing myself honestly. Just expressing honestly. I think that's why these videos matter so much to me, and why I'm always checking my analytics. I'm like, did somebody subscribe? Did somebody follow? If you made it this far in the video, please subscribe. Stay. Be part of the family. But yeah, these videos mean so much to me because they're helping me meet myself in real time. They're helping me become my most authentic self, the one who expresses, the one who honors her creativity, the one who uses her voice to help others, to guide, in some way, shape, or form, I hope. Coming back to myself, coming home to myself, honoring this soft version of me. Like I said in my last video, I'm not a loud person. I'm very soft. Sure, when I'm out having fun, I'm like, I'll be Brittany. Here we go, But I'm a soft girl. Okay, I'm a soft girl. You will not hear me out in the crowd yelling my lungs out. I'm not. I am a soft girl. I am not somebody who is going to yell and scream for attention, even though that's how I thought that connection happens, is that you have to be seen, to be loud, to be visible. But, loudness doesn't always mean that you're the most authentic to yourself. It just, it just means that you're loud. If you're loud, then I love you. I love you for that, okay? But that's not me. That's not me. I just hope that I hope that these videos, and I hope that you will be your most authentic self, that you will express, your inner needs, whatever they may be, whether it's creatively, whether it's through your career, through your relationships, or just your relationship with yourself. Be honest with yourself and honor those feelings, truly. Maybe becoming yourself isn't some dramatic transformation. Maybe it's just slowly peeling away all the versions of you that you made up, that were built from a place of whether it's stress or fear or self-doubt. And honestly, I think that I'm through these videos, I'm truly finding the real me. I'm truly finding my real self in here. I'm figuring this out too, friends. I'm here right there with you. I am figuring this out too, right here. And maybe this video made you feel like you're less alone. And that's all I could hope for, truly. And that's it. I guess that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for being here, friends. If you made it this far in the video, I would love for you to subscribe, like, leave a comment, send this to somebody who you think will benefit from this video. But thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Always move forward. Let yourself evolve into the best version of you. I'm so proud of you. I love you so much. I will see you guys in the next one, friends. Bye.